All right, guys, well, I'm back today with a brand new can that just hit the market, and I'm really excited about this one. It's a lightweight, full-size rifle can with a ton of incredibly nice specs and features and some pretty innovative designs. Dead Air Silencers and Ruger came together to offer an entirely new lineup of RXD suppressors, and the one we're looking at today is the RXD30Ti, a lightweight titanium can. Now, we are going to be discussing this can, its specs and features, and why it complements a lot of the Ruger firearms so well, especially the Ruger Precision rifles and the Ruger American Rifle series, either the Generation 1 or the Generation 2. But not only that, this is an incredibly versatile can that can be adapted to fit almost anything 30 caliber and lower, and we'll talk about that in the specs and performance part of that video. But let's start off with talking about the basic generalization and specs and features of this can before we talk about its strengths and weaknesses. Now, the RXD30Ti combines two of the baffle systems that Dead Air is really known for. It's going to combine the Triskelion baffle system and the Nomad baffle system, and that is a pretty awesome design setup. Now, this is 3D printed, or it utilizes additive manufacturing, meaning they're not machining this can, they are printing this can. And what that allows is an ultra strong, lightweight suppressor, and it also allows them to accomplish those baffle stacks that just can't be done with traditional machining. This also really helps with the sound performance, and on the 308, I was shocked, absolutely shocked at how well this mitigated that 308 round. We'll talk about that again in the acoustic performance section of this video, but I did want to say it does a really good job. The other cool thing about this can is right at the top here, you can see that this allows them to integrate the e-brake system directly into the suppressor rather than threading on some type of end cap. It's 3D printed in, and this is going to reduce recoil by over 40% over a standard bare muzzle device, and man, does it do a good job. Again, on that 308, it really mitigates that recoil, especially on everything else. Also, when this was designed, there's no proprietary tools required. You can get a simple wrench flat right here, and you can get some wrench flats right here. Now, one thing I will talk about is this end cap and hub compatibility, because this is actually hub compatible by 1.375 24 threads per inch industry standards. So you can swap this out with chemo muzzle device, quick attach methods, whatever you can think of that's hub compatible, this will work. Now, unfortunately, because of YouTube's policies, I can't show you any I don't know, swapping out components and stuff. I mean, I think it's okay now, but we're just going to play it safe, and I'm going to do that off camera. But this is the threaded end cap that ships with it. Or not the end cap, the actual thread adapter for your barrel. Now, this one ships with the 5/8 by 24 thread pitch, which is going to thread onto all of your 300 blackouts, most of your 7.62 by 39 bolt guns, as well as all of those 308s. And the cool thing about this is it has an integrated kind of blast component or brake inside that direct thread adapter. And that is going to minimize the blast damage to the internal design of this can. So it's a really nice end cap that goes above and beyond your traditional standard direct thread end caps. And again, this is hub compatible, so you can swap it out with whatever you want. And I did try it with the standard chemo mounts on a 300 blackout, and it worked out really well. So love that versatility with this can. It works out incredibly nice. This is also going to be compatible with the R series families of end caps from Dead Air, so the compatibility is almost endless on this can. Now, we've talked about the general specs and features and why I like that so much, but let's talk about some of the materials used, because a lot of guys will want to know that, and also barrel length restrictions. Now, this one is going to be 6AL4V, sorry, I'm mumbling my words here, titanium. And then the muzzle device and front cap are going to be a nitride 17.4 stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about any types of issues with the materials used. Really good quality materials. Now, the caliber rating is 6.5 Creedmoor, 308, and up to 300 PRC, and a muzzle energy rating of 4,400 foot-pounds. So if you're unsure, you can double check what that muzzle energy is going to be out of your round, and then compare it with the compatibility on this can. Now, it does have some minimum barrel lengths, and remember, we are talking about a titanium can. If you're looking for like an Inconel or solid stainless steel can or a 3D printed can of some crazy materials, Dead Air offers some really hard use cans. That's not what this one is. This one is designed to be a lightweight can for hunting applications and precision shooting, and man, does it do a good job. Again, we'll talk about that in the performance section of this review, but just know there are going to be minimum calibers, and this is not FA rated. Now, magnum calibers up to 30 cal, you're going to run a 20-inch barrel. Sub-magnum calibers like 5.56, 308, you can have a minimum barrel length of 12.5 inches, so that's pretty darn good. And subsonic 300 blackout, you can drop down all the way to 6 inches. Now, inside the box, you're going to get the suppressor, you're going to get the 5/8 by 24 direct mount, the installation tool, and a guide. And the dimensions on this guy is going to be about 7.34 inches long and 1.74 inches in diameter. And comparing it to one of the new Dead Air Sandman X's, you can see it's a little bit wider and then a touch longer. So you're going to get a more cavernous volume in here, which is going to really do some great sound performance. And let's look at the real big thing here, the weight, which is going to be 12.4 ounces with the direct thread brake mount. And if you're looking for the weight of this without the mounts at all, in case you are mounting it, there are some rifles out there with like direct hub threads on the rifle already. It's going to be 9.9 ounces without the mount, and you can add whatever weight with your mount to the end of that hub compatibility. Now let's talk about performance and why it pairs so well with a lot of those Ruger rifles. The first thing is the balance of this can. It is balanced nicely. Although the weight will be kind of towards the end where there's a little bit more meat to the can and that stainless steel thread adapter, that is going to allow it to go on to the end of something like a Ruger American, a really lightweight, short barrel, 16-inch bolt action rifle. You can get into a deer stand with this. You can get into a blind. You can hike a long ways with that lightweight can, and it bounces really nicely on the end, and you're not going to be kind of like lifting up that barrel with all the weight of a traditional 308 can. Now, because of that lightweight feel, we're not going to be dumping mag after mag. Again, this is not like a combat hard use can. It's not what it's designed for at all. It's designed as a great performing, sound performing can that you can throw on the end of a precision rifle or a hunting rifle, and it does a good job. Also, it really sucks up that recoil impulse for follow-up shots. So if you were running this in hunting applications for something like coyote or pigs or hogs where you were running follow-up shots, man, does this do an amazing job absorbing that recoil. And again, you can get a pretty decent amount of rounds through this can, but you don't want to just dump mag after mag after mag. So again, really good for hunting and precision applications. The tone on this can is absolutely amazing, and it is one of the quietest 30 cal cans I've ever had on the channel. I mean, you can go back through a lot of my reviews. The 308 was amazing. I actually ran this without hearing protection. I'm not recommending that. I always recommend hearing protection no matter what. But this was nice. On the 300 blackout bolt guns, it worked great. On the 7.62 by 39 bolt guns with subsonic ammo, this was one of the quietest cans I've ever put on them. And that was a Ruger American. So again, just mating up perfectly. Also, with the Ruger Precision rifle that I put this on, this can also did not shift the impact whatsoever. Sighted the Ruger Precision in at 100 yards, and it was stacking dimes. Amazing rifle, full video coming soon. When I threaded this onto the end of it, we had no shifts in impact, so it did an amazing job there as well. And again, really absorbed and mitigated the recoil of that 308 round. Also, on the semi-autos, with the low back pressure, I had no issues running this on a subsonic 300 blackout setup. And if you want to watch the full video on that setup, I've got one on the channel, and it functioned great. This, by far, is one of the kind of nicest lightweight cans that I've ever seen, but there are a lot of cans in the market, so is it right for you? Not 100% sure, but it's definitely right for me. The hub compatibility is awesome. The end cap compatibility is awesome. The lightweight feel, the overall tone and performance of this can and recoil reduction just make this a great choice for hunting and precision applications. Again, don't expect to dump 5 mags through this can and have a long life. It is designed specifically for those applications. If you're looking for like a crazy, hard-use, burn-down, FA-rated can, check out some of the other Dead Air offerings like the Sandman X or the traditional Sandman. Those are good options as well. But thanks to Dead Air for sending this out to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I've been loving digging into suppressors lately, and I've been a huge fan of a lot of what's going on. Again, Ruger and Dead Air have come together to do something awesome, and I'm really glad they did. Subscribe to the channel for more overviews of suppressors, rifles, and an upcoming review on the brand new Ruger Precision 2. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.